Morning guys, so we're back in the kitchen in St Albans and today we are going to sort out the electric. So we had the conversation with the client, he's happy for it all to go back pretty much as it was, but obviously wired correctly. So the first thing we've already done is we've cut a hole in the ceiling. So as you can see up here, we've cut a couple of holes in the ceiling, and what we've done is the wires that were in this socket, we've pulled them back out. So this one is the loop ring which goes from that socket to that socket. Now these are going to be obsolete, these two. They are going to be sockets, but I'll explain to you in a minute. So basically that one there just needs cutting out. We've pulled this one here, is the ring main from the rest of the house, the start of the ring main, we're going to call this the start. So we've pulled that through the joists in the ceiling, through the joists and then back down. This one's going to sit inside a 600 larder unit, because what we need to do is run a fuse spur from here up and back over to run a chimney extractor fan, which we've got to deal with yet. So we'll leave these holes open for the minute. So we'll come from this one, we'll go down to the floor surface because it's behind the unit. Along the floor, it will then come up into this one and out. We'll come back out of that one along the floor, and we will come up and come into this one. We'll come back out, we're going to cut those off. We're going to come back out the bottom of that one along the floor. We're going to come into the bottom of this unit for a socket for the dishwasher. We then come out of there along the floor to this far cabinet, sorry, to a back panel we're putting in here. There's going to be a breakfast bar back panel. We're going to put a double socket in there, just a white one, so they've got plug-in low level. We're going to come out of that. We're going to do a fuse spur for the underfloor heating and a single socket for the fridge. We're going to come out of there, up into that double socket that's there, back out along the floor, and then up into this socket, which will then continue, finish the ring main off, and that's it then. That'd be the ring main finished, because one of these is going to be dead and the other one will be the end of the ring main. So you've got the start of the ring main over there, coming out the wall, and you've got the end of the ring main here. So all I've got to do now is disconnect those wires, separate them into separate Wagos, put a tester on them, turn the fuse on, identify which one's alive, cut the excess one off because it'll be no longer usable, and then we're going to get a complete circuit run. So bear with us, we're going to get these tails cut off, we're going to run the cables, and then we'll show you the end result. We'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, the electrics are all rerun. We've got all new cables, we've got some sockets back on the wall, everything is looking good. So starting from the beginning of our ring main, this is for the extractor. This will go in a fuse spur, goes up over the ceiling, comes down there. We'll put a surface pattress there with a plug on it or a fuse spur or something in there just to plug the extractor fan in. That will be wired to a fuse spur in here. Then that'll be that done, and then our ring main then comes down now. So it comes from the house down into that box, out of there, it's along the floor, up into that one, along the floor, up into that one, and then down around. This one here will be for our dishwasher inside this base unit. That one is going to be a single or double socket inside a fake panel we're putting in there. This long one, I've left it long because I want to put a fuse spur and a socket inside the unit that goes here, which is actually now only a wine cooler, but obviously we'll probably just put some sockets in the back panel instead, bring that through into the back panel and put a fuse spur to power it. That's that one. It goes from there into that socket, comes out of that socket, comes all the way back along, comes into this socket and rejoins the end of the ring main. So now all of our sockets are completely utterly wired. We've got new sockets in now. That's just a temporary one because we just had to throw it on just to give us somewhere to plug the fridge in. But yeah, we're live. So I've kept them looped so I don't have to have a break in the wire and there. So we just tuck them in under the units for now, and we'll bring them out and adjust them as we need them. That's why there's plenty of length on them cables, just so we can bring them out inside that fake panel and make that look all nice and tidy. So just like that, we've rewired the kitchen. The time is 10:30, so in an hour and a half, we've adjusted the entire electric circuit and made it completely safe and back up how it should be done. So the next job for us now is to crack on with the plumbing. We're going to get the plumbing adjusted, and then we can start looking at putting some units in. So bear with us guys, we're just going to start cracking on, have a good tidy up, and then we'll be back with you. Okay guys, I've got a little tip for you when you're trying to do awkward soldering like this, where you got a bit just floating on an elbow. Use your tape measure, lock it off and use it to help hold your pipe in place. I'll explain what that's about in a minute. Okay, just like that, you soldered your bit of pipe. Just got a bit of flux on that, cool it down so it don't drop. That's it. Got a nice flow on that. And there you go. You've got a bit of pipe now, perfectly positioned. Okay, so what we've done guys, now you've got the pipe work is pretty much there on the cold. So what we've done, obviously, got the mains stop tap there. We come out the stop tap into the water meter, which is secured to the wall with a bracket. So we will cut a hole in the cabinet so that that is shown inside the cabinet. So that way then we're not using space up inside the cabinet. I have got a drain off on there, but that's because it was already on there and I just left it on. So we've come up from that out to the kitchen sink, come out of there to that T which goes down and feeds the cold water to the boiler. And then that feeds the cold water upstairs. Now this is going to be the outside tap. Yes, I know it's a little bit stupid, but what I'm trying to do is get the pipe into the back of the cabinet. Because what I want to do, I want to get this in the cabinet, and then I'm going to link that and that together inside the cabinet. We'll do like a drop. We'll do the dishwasher valve, and we'll also put a non-return valve and an isolator before it gets to the outside tap. So that way in the winter, they can actually isolate the cold water to the tap. That way if it freezes outside, it's not going to cause an issue, it ain't going to flood their house. So that's the reason for all of that. We don't have to do much with the hot. All I'm going to do with the hot is I'm going to cut it here so that it can get it tighter to the wall, and I'm just going to do a little kick out, and up and out, the same distance out here. That's the end of my cabinet. I know my sink's roughly going to be here. That's going to be roughly centre. Then all I've got to do is kick my waste pipe back to the wall as much as I can get it, and then I'm going to bring that out this side, and then I can bring that up in front of the meter, and that way I can get a connection on for my waste. It's about as good as I'm going to get it, because I want to get all that pipe work behind the unit so that it's not looking nasty inside the cabinets. I have got drain off valves for when I'm inside the cabinet, so I put drain off valves on, so if they need to drain down they can. But that's another matter. So I'm just going to address this hot pipe now. Literally just put a kick on it and just try and get it a little bit tighter to the wall. I don't necessarily need to. I mean, I could probably leave it, to be honest. I'm definitely going to remove that isolator though. I don't want an isolator. Yeah, I mean, it's within 70mm, which is what cavity we've got behind the unit. So I could potentially just leave it and just put a coupler on and then just put an elbow out from the hot, and then just put caps on those. And then we're pretty much good to go, to be fair. That's the hot and cold done and addressed, ready for the cabinets to go in. So all looking a little bit neater and tidier. Now that that's done and the electrics are done, I'll just do that hot pipe and then we can start looking at getting the units in. So stay tuned for more, guys. Okay guys, so we're going to call it a day. We ain't done badly. There's a few bits and pieces I've still got to sort out. I've got a set of new hole cutters coming today, which is one of the reasons why I don't want to carry on too much with the sink base unit, because I don't want to butcher it with the crap cutters that I've got. I've been waiting for them, they've been delayed unfortunately. So they'll be here today, because I like the Bosch quick release ones. Tomorrow we're going to get some base units in, protect them, get some bonding knocked up, take out all these old back boxes and make good some of the hot walls. So I mean, this wall ain't actually that bad. So we've only got a little bit of bonding there where the cable is, so bond that. This is never going to be seen across here because this is going to have a breakfast bar panel on the back to hide it with some sockets in. We've got that chase to make good. That back box to come out and just make that section good. We're going to give that a fine skim there. Try and get it as flat as we can and get it filled ready for tiling, because they're going to have some shelves in there. And then this section, this is the worst wall really. So obviously we've got to make good all of that area. This has all got to be pretty smooth because we've got the extractor fan going in there. So we want to try and get that as good as we can get it. and then we've got that big chunk there to make good. So we pick up some bonding, we get these units leveled, we protect these up, get that skimmed to make it look tidy, get these units in on this side, get that all looking nice, get the holes through, get all the plumbing through, get the dishwasher in there, back panel, the little wine rack thing that's going to go there, get our sockets through the wall. So there's quite a bit to do tomorrow, but I think tomorrow we will break the back of the base units. And obviously we've got the larder units as well, which I forgot to mention. We've got 600 oven housing and a 300 pull-out larder there. So they'll all go in tomorrow. And then we well, the worktops are stone, so they've got to be templated. So once the larders are in and it's all leveled, we can start throwing wall units up. So yeah, we should be, I reckon by Friday we'll be 90% of this kitchen to be ready, will be done. Templators are coming in on the 15th, I believe, next week. So, I mean, I'll be ready for it before then. I could bring them up and tell them they can come sooner. I've got to bring some jobs forward as well, because we've got to bring this one forward. And we've got to try and make room to come back once the stone's done and do the tiling and second fix everything. But I mean, I'll have them pretty much a working kitchen by the middle of next week, by the time we're done. But yeah, that's us done for today. So don't forget, guys, like, share, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, keep hitting that like and notification icon, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a bit more video for you tomorrow, because today it's just been a bit mental trying to rip us all out. But stay tuned for more. See you in a bit. Bye bye.